G review, or I can solve division word problems using the division or the long division / partial quotient strategy. So with that being said, here's our first one. Number 1, it says Walmart received an order of iPads. The first bullet says there is a total of 450 iPads in the order. The next bullet says there are 9 boxes in the order that have the same amount of iPads in each box. How many iPads are there in each box? Okay, so again, so you have 450 and they have 9. So the total amount of iPads are 450. The groups, there are 9 groups, which are your boxes. So you need to distribute, or you need to figure out how many are in each of the boxes. So you need to tell me exactly how many iPads are in one box. So to figure that out, you're going to do your long division. So you're going to have your 450. You're going to divide by 9 boxes equals something. Okay. So then your next step is you're going to put your small number outside of your house and your big number is going to go inside of your house. Pretty simple. All right, the next step, you need to make sure that you see if 9, does 9 go into 4? If you skip count by 9, you have to make sure that you say 9 or the numbers afterwards. If you say a number that is below 9, that means it does not fit into this number. So if you were to start at 9, you were skip counting by 9s, you would never say the number 4. So then you scoot over to 45. All right, 9 does go into 45. So that means you need to skip count by 9 until you get to 45. So with that being said, I'm going to leave this here, and then I'm going to skip count by my 9s. So there's 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. So we have 1 group of 9, 2 groups of 9, 3 groups of 9, 4 groups of 9, 5 groups of 9. So as you can see, 5 groups of 9 equals 45, which is right here. So you're going to put 5 up here, and then you're going to say 5 times 9 equals 45. Then you're going to subtract that. Okay, so 45 minus 45 is 0. So then you can't just stop there. You still have to slide this thing over more and see that you have that 0 there. If you have this 0 here, that means you need to drop it down, bring it down, and put it beside the other 0. And then you say, okay, how many times does 9 fit into this 0? Of course, it doesn't. So it's just going to be 0. So 9 divided by 400, or 450 divided by 9 equals 50. So 50 is your answer here, which is C. So give yourself a pat on the back if you got that one correct. If you did not get that correct, look back at this work right here and see what you missed, see what you did not include, and hopefully you can fix that. So that way next time you know that you will not mess up again. Okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into question number 2. All right, it says there are 128 babies in daycare. So again, there are 128 babies in the daycare. The babies are divided into 8 groups to be fed. How many groups will be formed? Pretty simple, right? So you're just going to take 128. So this is your equation. You're going to write 128. Your big number always comes first in the division equation. You're going to divide it by the 8 groups that they were fed in, by, and then you're going to then put your dividend and your divisor into a long division, partial quotient strategy. So your small number 8 goes outside of your house. 128 goes in the house. Then you start with your number that's closest to the 8 that's outside, which in this case is 1. Does 8 fit into 1? No, it does not. So you don't have to write anything, or if you want to, you could write a 0 up here, but I'm not going to. Then you're going to slide your number over. Okay, how many times does 8 go into 12? Well, let's skip counting by 8. There's 8, there's 16. Oh, 16 is way past 12. Therefore, you need to go back to this one, which is the first group of 8. So you're going to write 1 up here because 1 times 8 equals 8. Okay, then you have 12 subtracted by 8. So 12 minus 8, let's think 8, count up to 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 4. So you're going to write this 4 right here. Then you're going to slide this over again. Ooh, you have an 8 here. So you're going to take this 8 and you're going to drop it down beside. You're going to drop the 8 down beside the 4 to make the number 48. So then you say, okay, how many times does 8 go into the number 48? Well, we have 8, we have 16. Let's keep counting by 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. Oh, 48. That matches it, right? So this is 1 group of 8, 2 groups, 3 groups of 8, 4 groups of 8, 5 groups of 8, 6 groups of 8. So that 6 groups of 8 equals 48. So that means you're going to write 6 up here because 6 times 8 equals 48, which is up here. And you're going to subtract it. And your answer is 0. So that means you have no remainders. And therefore your answer is 16, which is B. So check that, see what you did. Look back over here at this work if you got it wrong and see what you did to get it incorrect and see if you can fix it. See if you can ingrain in your brain to never do that again and to see how to get the answer the right way next time. All right, so moving on, I'm going to erase this to question number 3. All right, question number 3 says, there are 917 teachers in a school. Each teacher will be given 1 dry erase marker. The markers are sold in packages of 8. What is the fewest number of packages that should be ordered so that every teacher gets a marker? Okay, so that means if you have a remainder in this case, so let's say that you were dividing 917 by 8 and you got a remainder, that means you're going to have to move your answer that you got above it, that's before the remainder, up 1, so that way you have enough packs for everybody. And you might have some extra, and that'll be okay. So, again, your equation is going to be 917 because that's your big number. You always want to write your big number in a division equation first. You're going to divide that by your 8. You're going to equal a box. Your variable, but you don't know what that is right yet. So then, again, your 8 is going to go outside of your house because it's small. 917 goes in the house because that's your bigger number, that's your dividend. Then you're going to start with your seeing how many times does 8 fit into 9. How many times does 8 fit into 9? Well, I know that if we were to skip count by 8, we have 8, we have 16. All right, 8, 16. 16's way more than 9, so therefore you have to go back to the first 8, which is only 1. This is 1 group of 8. This is 2 groups of 8. 1 group of 8 equals, or 1 times 8 equals 8. You're going to subtract it. 9 minus 8 is 1. Okay. Then you're going to scoot your fingers over if you're using your fingers. Or you can move over your little piece of paper and see that you have a 1 here. This 1 is going to drop down and then line up beside the 1 that you wrote here. Okay? So now you have 11. 8 goes into 11. Well, I know 1 8 is just 8. 2 8 is 16. 16 goes past 11. Therefore, you have to go back again to that 8, that 1 group of 8, and write 1. Because 1 times 8 equals 8. Okay? Then 11 minus 8. All right, go ahead and do that. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 3. So you're going to write 3 here. Then slide this over. Oh, there's a 7. So the 7, again, you're going to drop it down beside the last number that you got to make 37. Then you see how many times does 8 go into 37. Well, we have 8, 16. We don't have quite 37 quite yet, so let's keep going. So the next one would be 24, 32, 40. All right, so this is 1 group of 8, 2 groups of 8, 3 groups of 8, 4 groups of 8, 5 groups of 8. Now notice that 5 groups of 8 goes past 37, therefore you need to go back to the one before, which is 32, and that's 4. So you're going to write 4 up here. Okay, 4 times 8 is 32. You're going to subtract that from the 37 that you got prior, and then you'll have a remainder of 5 because there's no more numbers here to go by. So you're going to put a R for remainder 5. Okay, so going back to this, now I want you to look at these answer choices. You have 113, 114, 115, 116. 114 is right here. So if you were to have 917 teachers in a school and you're giving them 1 marker each, and then the packages come in 8, if you were to order 114 cases of 8, so if we did this 100, 10, 4, and then we're multiplying by 8, that would be 800, because 8 times 100 is 800. 8 times 10 is 80. 8 times 4 is 32. If you add that together, you would get 912. Okay, so that means you're going to have 5 teachers because you're trying to get to 917 teachers to have all of them to get 1 marker. So if you have 912, that means you have 5 teachers who will not have a marker. Therefore, you need to take this remaining of 5 because that means you'll have 1 pack of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll make 8 total markers. If you have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that means you're going to have 3 extra markers, okay? But that means that every teacher in the school will be able to get 1 marker. So with that being said, your answer is not 114. It will be 115 because, again, that remainder, you have to add another box so that way those 5 teachers still get a marker, okay? So your answer should be C. So double check that. Look back again over here at this work and see where you messed up. See if you got it right. Kudos to you. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got it right. And then let's go on to the next one, number 4. All right, Tara made a scrapbook. Okay, so this is like one of those problems that you see on your end of unit test because it has the 2 bullets. So be sure you pay, well, actually it has 3 bullets this time. So be sure you pay very close attention. It says Tara made a scrapbook. Okay, and here's a picture of a scrapbook so that way you can see what they're talking about. She created 3 different designs on each page. She put a total of 96 designs in the scrapbook. She used all the pages in the scrapbook. How many pages are in the scrapbook? Okay, so again, Tara made a scrapbook. She creates 3 different designs on each page, and there are a total of 96 designs in the scrapbook. So we're trying to figure out how many pages there are in this book. So it's saying that she does 3 on one page, 3 different designs on one page. She has 96 total designs in the scrapbook, so we need to figure out how many pages the scrapbook has. So you're going to take your bigger number, 96, and you're going to divide it by 3, and you're going to equal box. Okay? So again, this is your dividend, this is your divisor, your answer is your quotient. Okay? So then you're going to put 3 outside of your house, 96 in the house. Then you're going to skip count by 3 until you get to 9. So we got 3, 6, 9. Okay, that's 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, 3 groups of 3. 3 groups of 3 is 9. So if we do it like this, cover up that. So 3 goes into 9 3 times. You write 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract it, you get 0. Move this over. Then you're going to drop down your 6. Okay. Then you're going to say, okay, 3 goes into 6. How many times? Okay, let's look back up here. 3, 6. Oh, there's 2. There's 2 right here. It's going to go right here because 2 times 3 equals 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. So you have a total of 32 pages that are in the scrapbook. So that is letter A, answer choice A. So that's your answer. So again, look back at here. If you got it wrong, double check your stuff, see where you messed up, try to fix it, and then let's go ahead and jump back into this with our last one, question number 5. All right, Jose, he had 210 apples. He made 9 equal groups of apples with as many of the apples as possible. Then he put the leftover apples into one of the groups. How many apples are in the biggest group? Whew, that's a lot right there. That's a lot going on because this is not only a division word problem, it's also addition because it's a 2-step word problem. So first, we need to figure out how many groups did Jose make from, or he has 9 equal groups. How many are in each of the 9 equal groups from the 210? So that's what we need to do first. So let's go ahead and write that division equation. Our dividend is 210. That's our big number. It always comes first. You're going to divide it by the 9 equal groups, which is your divisor, to find your quotient, which is you're not sure yet. That's what you got to figure out. So again, your bigger number is going to go inside of the house, 210. You're going to divide it by 9, the number outside of the house, and the smallest number always goes outside. Then you're going to have your lovely little fingers or a piece of paper to cover up the numbers. Pretty simple. All right, does 9 go into 2? All right, let's skip counting by 9s. We have 9, 18. Okay, is 2 anywhere in the skip counting? No, therefore it doesn't work. So then you have to go, okay, let me scoot it over one more place value. We have 9 goes into 21. All right, we have 9, 18, 27. Okay, so again, this is one group of 9, 2 groups of 9, 3 groups of 9. 21 is less than 27, but it's greater than 18, therefore you have to use 18. So that is the second 2 groups of 9, or 2 times 9 is 18. You're going to subtract that. 21 minus 18. I would start at 18 and count up to 21. 18, 19, 20, 21, that's 3. So then you're going to write 3 down here. Scoot it over. Oh, we have this lovely 0 here. So you're going to drop down this 0 to make 30. Okay, then we have, okay, so we don't have 30 up here yet, so let's keep going. 9, 18, 27, then 36 is your 4th group of 9. If you have 4 groups of 9, that would be 36. But notice that 36 is more than 30, and you can't do that. So you have to go back to the one that's a little bit less than 30, which is 27, and that is 3. So I'm going to write a 3 here. 3 times 9 equals 27. Subtract it. Okay, so then you have 30 minus 27. 27, 28, 29, 30. That's 3. So you're going to write 3 here, and that's how many you have remaining, or your remainder. Okay, so they're saying, with this, all this work being done, it says next, then he puts the leftover apples into one of the groups. So how many apples are in the biggest group? So right there, that he's putting the leftover apples into another group. The leftover apples are your remainders right here. Okay, and that's only going to go into one group. And there's 9 groups that have 23 in each group. So you need to take 23 for one group and add this remaining 3 apples together to see how many is going to be in that biggest group, which would be 26. So that is answer choice B. Okay. So if you got that one right, good job. That was a very hard one. That's why I say that one for last, because it was a 2-step word problem. Go back and look at your work, see what you did. Make sure if you did not add your 3 remaining to one of the groups of 23, that you do that, because that's one of the important parts. Because if you didn't know that, or you didn't read it fully, you could look over here and look, 23 is one of your answer choices. They're trying to trick you. So make sure you read every little piece of the word problem, because it's very important that you get it, okay? So if you have any comments, questions, concerns about this video, you can put a comment below, and then I'll respond back to it. But that's it for EOG review with division problems using the partial quotient strategy and long division. So again, hope you have a good day, and keep that dividing.